how much do you want for it? Well, I'm not selling it. You're the one that called me. So make me an offer. I'll tell you if I'll accept it or not. It's that simple.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex. I am a real estate investor, and I like to make these videos to share with you the struggles I'm having, the challenges I'm overcoming, and hopefully you guys can take this information and leverage it to accelerate your own journey. So today I had a call breakdown on a what I would call a red seller. So when you're talking to people on the phone, you'll figure out that different people have different personality types, and you kind of have to treat each one a little bit differently. So with red sellers, I like to do one of two things. The first, which is what I chose to do in this video, you can get a little bit red back. You can get a little bit direct back with them. It kind of brings you up to their level. They might start to respect you a little bit more. They don't try to run you over as much. They're actually then will be willing to give you information. Because what you absolutely don't want to do with a red seller is like apologize a lot to them, act like you're inconveniencing them, because that's just a recipe for how to get yelled at and then hung up on. So that's one strategy for red sellers is just get a little bit direct back with them. The second strategy that works very well as well, compliment them. Try to be like, how do I get like you? Don't do it in like a submissive way, like you're less than them, but be like, wow, man, like that's really awesome that you're able to accomplish that. Like if you were me, like what steps would you be taking? What action items would you be doing to get in your situation? That's effective as well. Trying to make them like this master, this super smart person, build them up because people love to be built up, be complimented. So both of those work for sure. In this video, I did choose to go route number one. It is situational for sure, so you'll have to play around with that and see which one you like better. Let's get into it though. This was actually a live transfer from a VA, so this was already a little bit. He was already a little bit heated.
To catch me up to speed on where you and Sheila left off, so I don't make you repeat yourself.
Yeah, this is what really frustrates me about all these calls and solicitations I get. Like I own a shitload of properties, and then people call me, and are you interested in selling one of your properties? I say sure, and then now they want to ask me all these questions, and I'm not the one that called y'all. You all called me, so it's really frustrating going through this time and time and time again.
Right.
If you guys want my property, yeah.
So there's the first little thing I did. Just pull away. If he's sitting there complaining about all this stuff, like you guys called me, all this stuff, like give me an offer, pull away a little bit. Be like, hey man, if you don't want to sell it, I don't want to buy it. I'll get off the phone. But now we find out he's like, no, I do. Like, and then he just gets mad again. But at least this time, at this point I figure out he is trying to sell it. He is probably motivated. It's just you have to uncover that a little bit by pulling away. So make sure to pull away with your sellers.
I said, fine. But then she asked me a million questions like, how much do you want for it? Well, I'm not selling it. You're the one that called me. So make me an offer. I'll tell you if I'll accept it or not. It's that simple.
Yeah. We're probably not your buyer,
So you'll also get that phrase a ton from red sellers, like make me an offer, make me an offer. What's your offer? They'll pressure you a lot. This guy wasn't that bad. He only said it a couple times, but some people like that's the only words that come out of their mouth. So what I like to do in that situation is kind of set the expectations. Like you can pull away a little bit and you can just tell them like, brother, like I can give you an offer, but if I have literally no information on the property, I'm an investor. You're just asking me to lowball you. Like, do you want an uneducated offer or do you want an educated offer? And kind of help set the expectation for the rest of the call that I need some more information so I can get you the highest possible offer.
Typically we don't just throw out blind offers like that. And if you want to sell it, we're probably going to have to go through some dialogue and get some good information on the property. Because we could throw out a blind offer, but if we don't know anything about the property, you're just asking us to.
Right, but then I guess then why are you calling me on it if you don't know what you called on? Is this a scam? I mean, how do you know about my property to want to buy it?
It's public information. How would it be a scam? Because we're sending you money.
Well, not that. Oh, y'all are just fishing for everything.
Fishing?
Yeah,
you're
like
losing me here. I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, this.
It kind of cut out there, but I said can you help me out there? I'm a little confused. And that's just called dummying up. That's a super effective strategy to get sellers to talk more, to give more information, and just really give more clear communication, because that's the goal here, is just clear communication. So make sure to dummy up as well.
It's a golf course community. Tom Selleck lives in it. Kevin Costner's 3 doors down. It's a high end. The reserve at Lake Huey. You're calling on 108 Autostraw. It's a high end private golf club community on the lake near Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay. And you're asking 75,000. I'm just looking at property values that have sold right now. I don't believe we would be a good cash buyer for you. I'm looking, other stuff is selling about 66. However, we do buy a lot of properties on terms where we could definitely get you 75. What would stop us from doing a deal like that?
Well, it depends on how long you want to stretch that out. I don't care. I mean, I don't need the money, but so if it was like I told the lady, if it was a fair offer, I have no problem not getting a cash offer.
Something else I want to highlight too is with this guy, I knew he was a little more direct. I knew he was an investor. I knew he had tons of properties. I kind of just assumed that he understood terms, which maybe that was right, maybe that was wrong. But the thing I want to highlight is you never want to say like, "Hey man, cash absolutely doesn't work, but we do buy stuff on terms. Can we do that here?" So you don't want to do any sort of like yes no question, anything like that. It's just way too easy to just be like, "No, that's not conventional. I don't understand that." The answer is no. Instead, what you want to do is ask more of an open-ended question or something that'll make them think. I think in this one I said something along the lines of, "What would stop us from doing a deal like that?" Or another good one is, "What about that would not really work in your situation?" And at that point, at least they have to think about it then. They'll be like, "Oh, well, okay, maybe it does, or maybe it doesn't." But at least they have to think about it and give you a reason, and you can, at that point, address that.
I am on getting money as it goes. I mean, I could care less.
Okay. Yeah. We do.
I don't
probably
need
like
the money, so I don't. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. No, that works out good. So we got 75,000. Typically when we structure this, we try to make it make sense for you. We try to do everything custom. Because I could just throw something out, right? But if it doesn't work for you, then it's a no deal. So, did you have a time frame in mind that you would?
So from here, I kind of just go into, I set the expectation again, like I'm gonna need your terms because I already know what he's gonna say. He's like, "What's your offer? What can you guys do?" Like, I want the highest possible down payment. And I want the shortest possible term length. So instead, you got to set that expectation up front, being like, "Hey man, every single one of these is custom. I need to figure out what works for you." And then from there, you can kind of go into getting his terms. I'm gonna cut this one here because it's kind of getting a little bit long. Maybe I can show you guys part 2 later. We actually end up being best buddies at the end of this call, so that's always fun. But I would say the major takeaways for dealing with red sellers is one, do not be afraid to pull away. Do not sound desperate. Do not sound like you're inconveniencing them. Do not say things that make you sound like you have a low status. Do not do any of that. That's definitely number one. Number two, something that definitely helps with red sellers is to set expectations. You want to kind of outline what you're trying to accomplish, why you're trying to accomplish it, and that really helps them process, what has to happen here, and really can avoid a lot of frustration on their end. And the third thing I would say with red sellers, definitely just get to the point. Like you don't have to fluff it up with them. Just get to it. I actually sometimes like working with red sellers a little bit more. They are a little aggressive and they do bark at you a little bit, but they're people that actually are capable of making a decision and they actually want to move forward with something. So there are definitely positives and negatives to each personality type. But let me know what you guys had for your biggest takeaway here. Let me know what you guys want to see more of, and I can definitely do a part 2 on the rest of this call too. So.